Hey guys, this is Brian at OBEDIA, and today I wanted to just bring you a little bit of information on something that can be kind of confusing in the world of live and studio music for some musicians, and that is, what does a direct box do? Direct boxes can be a little daunting at first when you first have someone tell you to buy a direct box. You know, I know the first time that I was told to get a direct box was when I was playing a live gig, and I was told by the promoter of the event that I would need to DI into the sound system, and I didn't understand what that meant at all. And basically, here's the idea behind a direct box, so I can hopefully clear this up for some of you guys, because I know that when I first found out about them a while ago, over 10 years ago, you know, it was a little hard to find some information sometimes. So basically, a direct box has two sections. It's got an in, and you can see the inputs right here of this direct box, and it's also got a cut right here, cut switch, so it has a 0 decibel cut. I can cut by -20 and by -40 decibels. So I've got two inputs. These are 1/4 inches. These are what are called unbalanced. They're two pins. There's a hot pin and a ground pin. And a 2-pin setup works pretty much, you know, this is what you have with most guitars and, you know, most instruments output 1/4 inch when you come right down to it. Now, on the other side of a DI box, we have an output, which is a 3-pin XLR output port. And what this is, this has a hot pin, a cold pin, and a ground pin. Now, this is balanced. So what this means is that an XLR cable can essentially be many feet, 30, 40 feet, things like that. And the idea is that it will keep the line level noise, which can be introduced with length of cable and also the quality of electrics, things like that. It'll keep that line level noise down. But that can be a hard thing for a 2-pin cable to do. As those cables get longer, they can introduce noise, they're not balanced, and so they can introduce all kinds of audio gremlins that we don't really want. So, what a DI box does, a direct box, what this will do is allow us to send a 1/4 inch unbalanced input to a converted balanced XLR output. So we're going to just basically convert from unbalanced to balanced, and then we get to send this out to our house sound system or anything else that we might be working with. Now, a lot of times when you play a house sound system, typically you're going to be running your audio into a snake of some kind. That snake is usually going to have XLR cables that get plugged into it. So let's say that you're a DJ or something like that, and your audio interface only has 1/4 inches out. You can use a DI box in order to send those 1/4 inches out as XLR outs, and then they will also theoretically be balanced as long as your DI box is doing its job. Now, again, I spoke about line noise. If you find that you have line noise, a lot of DI boxes have a ground lift. And what this will do is, depending on if you have, let's say, noise being introduced when you plug in, you can flip this switch, and one of these settings will usually clear up the noise that you're going to have in the line, because a ground loop will usually mean that the electricity is looping back and forth through whatever piece of gear it is that you're using. And so when you hear a ground loop hum, you're actually hearing the sound of the electricity, but you don't want that running through a PA system or a recording, so you want to try using the lift setting. And when you do that, you should hopefully be able to cut that noise out. Now, you know, DI boxes have a lot of different purposes, as I say. Great for bass guitars when you're recording in the studio, sending your bass in order to be able to send your bass guitar out as an XLR, as a balanced output. great for guitars, and again, as I say, DJs and live electronic musicians, these things are a must-have. So pick up a direct box or two. It's always a good thing to have in your bag. I like to keep a good few of them because you never know when you're going to need one of these guys. I hope this has been some useful information to you guys. As always, please stay in touch with me. My email address is brian@obedia.com. Get me on Twitter and Facebook. My name is Obedia Tutor there, twitter.com/Obedia Tutor, and on Facebook @/Obedia Tutor. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy music making, and I'll see you next tutorial.